Good. Excellent. Okay. So my name is Jim Hannon. I'm the Executive Director of the School of Fashion Design. I'm joined tonight with my colleagues, Jennifer LeClaire, the school's Associate Director, and Sadie Ann Strauss, the school's Administrative Coordinator. We're going to tell you a little bit about the school, show you a few videos, but I'm going to start off with a brief history. So the School of Fashion Design has been around since 1934. We are coming up on our 90th anniversary. We've always been in Boston. We've always been in the Back Bay. We moved into our new space in the Park Square building about 1 year ago. Our new space is bigger, brighter, and it allows for our students to spread out more. Our student body. So we have some students who are right out of high school. Other students start off at other area colleges, and whether they're in a different major or maybe it's just not the right fit for them, they want to pursue fashion design and they find us. The majority of our students actually already have their degrees. They went to school, got their degree, and now they're actually going to pursue what, their passion, fashion design. We also have a lot of older adult students, who have been working 5, 10, 20 years, and they've always been interested in fashion. And now they're going to pursue it, so they come find us. What else? It's a nice atmosphere to study in. The average class size is about 6 students per class. You do get a lot of one-on-one with the instructor, and you get to know everybody in the building pretty quickly. So like I said, it's a really nice atmosphere to study in. Students can elect to attend full-time or part-time. We offer day, evening, and online classes. We also offer a program for high school students. We run it over the summer for 4 weeks in July and 4 weeks in August. And we will be offering it again this fall, starting on September 30th. We start classes 3 times a year, September, January, and June. Our next semester starts on September 11th. At this point, I'm going to turn the mic over to Jennifer LeClaire, and she's going to give you a little overview of what we're going to be doing tonight.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. Thanks, Jim. Thanks, everyone, for being here. We do offer open houses in the fall and the spring here in person, but in the summer, it's really easier for us to do this virtually. So, with everybody being on vacation. So I hope some of you are dialing in from some exotic location to join us here tonight. I just want to give everybody an overview about how tonight's open house is going to go so that you're prepared. We promise we'll be able to answer everyone's questions. So we have 3 videos to show you tonight. The first one is kind of an overview promotional video that gives a really nice snapshot of everything we do here at the school. We'll take a quick break after that, might add a few more talking points. The second video, each video kind of will go into a little bit more detail as if you were, we hope, as if you were here in person. The second video is a quick kind of tour through our classroom spaces. And then the third is an introduction from one of our teachers to one of our level 1 class projects, and explains kind of what we do in that class. So that's what we're going to do tonight. At the end of all that, so we ask you to be patient as we work through those 3 videos. Each one is only 4 minutes. They're not super long. So we will have plenty of time for questions at the end. We ask that you save your questions till kind of roughly around the end of that first video. The end of that third video, in case your questions are answered in the videos. And then if you could, please, the fastest way for us to kind of get to everyone is to just throw your questions in the chat. I will read them. I'll look through them. I will read them out loud so that everyone else can hear, and we can answer the question for everyone. No question is too big or small, so we're here to help you understand what we do here tonight. We'll also want to give a quick shout out We just noticed our dear friend and alumni and former faculty member Louise Cushing is here with us tonight. So hello, Louise. Thanks for being here. Once you become part of the SFD community, you are always part of the SFD community. So we hope to see some of you in the fall. So Sadie's going to pull up the first video that gives you an overview of our program here.
Can everyone see this video? Someone could just give me a thumbs up. Okay, great.
There's volume, Sadie.
Yep, sorry, 1 second.
That's okay.
All right.
Welcome to the School of Fashion Design, the only school in New England dedicated exclusively to the study of fashion design. Founded over 85 years ago, your fashion design education begins here at the School of Fashion Design. Located in Boston, the School of Fashion Design offers a 2-year certificate and a 3-year diploma of fashion design. With flexible scheduling, including day, evening, Saturday, and online courses, you can study full-time or part-time. You can also explore your interest in fashion design with continuing education specialty courses without being enrolled in a degree program. As a student, you're welcome to attend special events, including our Fashion Statement Speaker Series, carefully curated talks from companies in the fashion industry such as Pantone, Chanel, DeWolf Leathers, and many more. The School of Fashion Design hosts an annual live fashion show, and all students are eligible to show their designs. As a studio school, the School of Fashion Design has an 8-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio, and teaching assistants are available to help you with homework assignments. The expert faculty of the School of Fashion Design will guide you on your journey towards becoming a designer. If you are new to fashion design, the comprehensive curriculum will give you the needed skills to advance. If you already have some sketching, pattern, and construction skills, you will find the courses at the School of Fashion Design will help to refine and advance your skills. The professional tools of the industry are also available to you at the School of Fashion Design, such as dress forms, pattern and construction tables, and computer design labs. Industrial sewing machines like those used professionally in the fashion industry are provided for your use during class time and whenever the school is open. In Level 1 pattern making, a basic skirt and blouse pattern are drafted through measurements on paper, and students are then taught to stylize these basic patterns to create other designs. In fashion sketching, you will develop a fashion figure called a croquis, and learn the basics of rendering clothing and accessories through colored pencil, marker, and watercolor. 2D, 3D design encourages you to think about color theory as you design garments made out of non-textile materials. The School of Fashion Design also offers several interactive lecture-based courses, like Professional Development, History of Costume, and Fundamentals of Textiles. In the CAD Art Computer Lab, you will learn the fundamentals of the latest technologies used in the fashion industry today. In CAD Apparel, you will learn to create and stylize patterns using industry-standard Gerber software. You will learn to create designs that can be printed on fabric, as well as how to sketch the fashion figure using Photoshop and Illustrator. One of the best resources at the School of Fashion Design is the exclusive use of our extensive fashion library. The School of Fashion Design's library includes hundreds of volumes of print books, decades of vintage Vogue magazines, fashion encyclopedias, and fashion-related fiction books. It's the perfect place to relax between classes and find inspiration for your next design. Your fashion education begins here at the School of Fashion Design. Applications are being accepted now for full-time, part-time, and continuing education enrollment. For more information, please visit our website at schooloffashiondesign.org.
Thank you, Sadie. So that just kind of gave you an overview about our program and elaborated a little bit on some of the things that Jim had outlined. The next video that we are going to show you is was created as a sort of walking tour through our classrooms. Since you can't be here tonight with us in person, we did our best to bring you into our classrooms. You'll see one of our sketching classes in progress. You will see our high school class, our high school workshop program in progress. And then you'll also see a little bit of a chat with Daniel Fauché, who's one of our senior instructors here. And that's a nice clip because he's giving his students in his classroom a little bit of an overview of what they'll be learning in subsequent classes. So it's a nice snapshot of how our curriculum is really sequential in terms of building your skills while you're here. So that's what we're going to see next. So come on in.
Rarely touch, right? But ballroom dancing has a particular kind of wardrobe code. You hold each other in a certain way. It's a little bit more formal. So you want to think about which one kind of speaks to you in that one. Red carpet. Now, red carpet is a popular thing because everybody wants to be on the red carpet. Red carpet, what is the most important thing about a red carpet garment?
So in level 3, you often will make normally you make a active sportswear versus spectator sportswear. You do an active sportswear project, which is a 3-piece, you choose the sport and you make a 3-piece outfit for that. A running outfit, a tennis outfit, blah, 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 blah. Then you do a swimsuit project where you would either make a bodysuit or a swimsuit. So you learn all about elastic, different types of elastic and elastic application in the garment. You normally have to make a cover-up, a bathing suit and a cover-up of some sort. And then normally you're doing a raincoat project, which again is your design. Could be a poncho, could be doesn't have to have a set-in sleeve, but it normally has some sort of closure, being a coat, which again, up until now, you haven't had to do a closure of some sort in any of your designs. And so it kind of gets you ready for level 4. In level 4, it's tailoring. So we want you to make a garment that incorporates a pocket detail of some sort. It could be inside the garment, but a pocket to make sure you've done one. It doesn't have to be lined, but has to be finished properly for a tailored garment. And it's a tailored garment, either a jacket or a coat that would go over an undergarment. So it's at least the 2 pieces that you're doing, but no restrictions as to what type of garment you're making. Again, spectator, active, evening wear, anything.
Thanks for watching that one. I just want to elaborate a little bit, take this time to elaborate a little bit on some of what Daniel was saying with regard to the sequencing and the skills building of our curriculum. So one of the nice things about the School of Fashion Design is one of our values is, and the way that our instructors teach is, fashion design is an applied and a learned skill. So we don't expect you to walk in the front door here already. Some people do come to us with previous sewing skills, but it's our job to teach you. So all of our curriculum begins at level 1, and then, as Jim mentioned, we develop level 2, level 3, level 4. So in level 1, students will learn the basic techniques around a model skirt and a model blouse. Everyone's making the same thing because you're learning the techniques and all the different parts of that garment that go into those 2 pieces. And then from there, you start designing your own. Everything you do after that, you start designing your own creations and your own designs. So skirt and blouse in level 1, and then you move on to level 2, where the skills build and you do pants and a day dress. So those are sort of the things sort of start to come together. In level 3, as Daniel was mentioning, sportswear, you start to get into stretch fabric and fabric that's kind of a little bit more challenging to work with. We also have a fundamentals of textiles class that's part of the curriculum. So early on, you do learn how different textiles behave, but in level 3 construction, you start to learn how to actually work with those fabrics. And then, as Daniel mentioned, level 4 starts to get into like really kind of fine tailoring and projects that are really in more detail. Everyone here after those level 1 classes are eligible and are ready to have garments that are runway ready, and our students as early as level 2 are showing work on the runway at our school fashion shows. So you really do ramp up very quickly here. So the next video, at the last video that so if you're starting to think about your questions, you can start rolling them in. Jim has a few more things, a few more sort of FAQs at the end that might answer some of your questions. But this last video that we're going to see, we're going to take you into our Clothing Construction 1 class. This is this particular video shows instructor Marnie Grimes, who is giving an overview of the model skirt project. And so she's going to explain kind of everything that you're going to learn and why we learn it this way in this introductory Clothing Construction 1 class. So we'll see that next. Thanks, Sadie. Volume.
So we're going to review or go over the different parts of the model skirt. Level 1 construction students, every one of you have to complete the model skirt. The model skirt pattern and sizing has been determined for you. This is an example or a result of everything that you have learned in clothing construction. So you're not worried about the pattern, you're not worried about the fit, you're not worried about the sizing, you're worried about doing all the construction techniques correctly. It's like in the olden days, they used to do a sampler. So this is your sampler. So in this model skirt, there is a 1 1/4 inch self-lined waistband. What that means is on the inside of the waistband is the same fabric as the outside. It's just folded in half. There are 2 set-in pockets, one on the right and one on the left. They are created differently. One side is done with just a piece of lining and one side is done with a facer. Those are 2 different methods that you learn in clothing construction. On the front, on each side of center, are 2 released pleats. In other words, they're just pleated up at the waist, but through the rest of the pleat, it's not stitched down, it's released. On the back, there's an 1.5 inch underlap that extends beyond the zipper, so that when the waistband closes, that 1.5 inches go underneath the waistband on the left-hand side. There are 2 darts that are in the back, one on either side of center. There's a lapped zipper. It's not centered and it's not invisible, but it's a lapped zipper, and it is hand-pricked by, it's hand-pricked. It's not sewn in by machine on the lap side. It is sewn in by machine on the underside. There is a slit opening opposed to a pleat or a vent. And that slit is clean finished with the lining. The model skirt is completely lined. It is completely lined. The slit opening is clean finished with the lining, and the lining clean finishes at the zipper. The model skirt is also completely underlined, where the explanation of underlining is coming up in the next few videos. We also clean finish all of the seam allowance in the model skirt, the hem allowance in the model skirt, even though it is lined. Again, it's just our way, the instructor's way, of seeing how well you understand the concepts and the techniques that were demoed and showed to you during level 1 construction. So this is project 1. You have to complete the model skirt. You will also have to complete the model blouse.
Thank you. We are gonna kick it back over to Jim for some kind of frequently asked questions, and then if you want to start writing your questions in the chat, we'll get those answered. Go ahead, Jim.
Sure.
Yeah, you're up.
Yep. So there are just a couple of other things I want to point out, after seeing the videos. The video you just watched it was created during COVID. We didn't have in-person classes. We were doing them virtually. Part of our process was to literally film our lessons. So this is like a great benefit for our students now. If you're enrolled in Clothing Construction 1 or Pattern Making 1, you have access to Co-Assemble, which is literally all the lessons throughout the semester. So now that we're back in person, you go to class, you take your notes, but maybe you can't read your writing, or maybe you can't quite get it. You now have access to Co-Assemble, which allows our students to go in and literally look for, the pocket demonstration. And once again, it's nice because you can pause it, rewind it, watch it again. So this is just a great perk for our students. They have this library of lessons that are now available to them. And the other thing I was going to mention that we haven't touched upon is that our faculty, they're all either in the industry or have been in the industry. So the first instructor you saw, Jay Calderon, who is teaching fashion sketching, is a designer in his own right. He's the founder of Boston Fashion Week, and he's published 3 or 4 fashion textbooks at this point. Daniel Fauché is a custom bridal wear designer, and he has been in the industry 25 plus years. And the last instructor you saw, Marnie Grimes, has also been in the industry for 20 plus years, working for different local designers. So a lot of good practical knowledge and experience. So some of our frequently asked questions that we're going to kind of address is that, and Jen has mentioned this, when you come to the School of Fashion Design, you do not have to have previous sewing experience, or you don't have to have a portfolio. When you come in, we're going to start you at the very beginning, how to thread the machine, how to lay out your fabric, how to cut your fabric. That being said, if you do have previous experience, we still want you to come here. We do just ask that you show us samples of your work, and this is really more for placement rather than being accepted. If you've been sewing your whole life, we don't want to put you in the beginning level class. We want to put you in the class that matches your skill level, that will challenge you and help you gain new skills and new knowledge. Let's see. So for any new students coming in, good classes to start with would be, our Clothing Construction 1 class, our Pattern Making 1 class. We recommend that you take these together just because they really complement each other. Another good starting class would be Fashion Sketching 1. And the first step in all of this is to basically go on our website and create an account where we will start giving you information, or you can sign up for a class. Another frequently asked question is, how much does it cost? And basically, tuition is $1,335 per course. All of our classes in the fall and spring meet for 15 weeks. They meet for 3 hours a week. So you're in class for 45 hours throughout the semester. Let's see, scholarships, another frequently asked questions. We do offer a few scholarships. You do have to complete at least your first semester here or your first year before you're eligible to receive a scholarship. And typically they are, they would pay for a class. So it would be about approximately $13.35 for a scholarship. So at this point, those are the questions I get asked most frequently. So we're going to check your questions now. So.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any yet, but please don't be shy. This is your opportunity. You have all of us here. So please don't be shy. There are no silly questions. I would also add, if you're, sort of trying to decide, if you're looking at fashion programs around Boston or trying to decide, one of the things, if it's not clear yet in these videos, one of the things that School of Fashion Design is really known for is our technical expertise, and the fact that we really dive deep into the technical expertise. We are the only school in New England that's dedicated exclusively to the art of apparel design and construction. What that means is we don't do marketing and merchandising and things like that. Our students come here to literally learn how to design and make clothing. That is what we do. So, and we like to think that we do it very, very well. I do have a question. So the way this is going to work, I will read them out loud so that everybody can hear them and Jim can hear and answer them. We have a question that says, do I have to be full-time to qualify for a scholarship? It's a two-part question, so we'll start with that one. Do you have to be full-time to qualify for a scholarship?
You do not. We usually give our scholarships out at the end of the year at our graduation. Students submit an application, and the faculty and the administration review the application. But if you come in and you've done an amazing job in your construction or your pattern making class, and you show, you do the work and you're committed, you're definitely eligible to be considered for a scholarship.
And this, the other part, before I go to the other part of the question, oh gosh, I forgot what I was going to add. Okay, that was terrible. What other requirements do we need? Is that with regard to Rosa, if you want to clarify, requirements with regard to starting our program, or requirements with regard to obtaining a scholarship? We'll just answer both just in case.
To start our program?
Yeah,
If you're full-time, if you're interested in full-time study, you need to submit high school or college transcripts. You need to submit a letter of recommendation. Once we receive the materials, we'll review them. For part-time study, it's definitely simpler. We understand that somebody might just be coming in to take our hat making class, our millinery class. So we're not going to require a transcript or a letter of reference. You just basically go, once again, you create an account, you select the course that you're interested in, and it's almost like online shopping. You put it in your cart, and then we will generate your schedule, your supply list, and your invoice. So it's pretty simple for, if you're interested in part-time study. In regards to scholarships, once again, we ask that you submit an application. We give you the application. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Once we get the applications in, we go to our teachers, we go to our instructors who know you, who know the work you've done, and kind of talk to what type of student you are. And they know your work, and they know your work ethic and skill level. So that's it for our scholarship application.
Thank you, Jim. And I did remember what I was going to add earlier. So Jim talked about full-time students and part-time students. I want to mention that a lot of our students are pursuing their certificate in fashion design with us on a part-time basis. If you choose to come here as a full-time student versus a part-time student, there is no difference in the your educational experience here, the classes that you take. Our students all take the same classes with the same faculty. The only difference really is a matter of your pace. So we have students who, if you're full-time, you're just going to kind of, cruise through the program, but you can be pursuing your certificate at your pace and just kind of make your way through our program. A lot of our students who are working professionals are taking classes part-time, and so they're taking a little bit longer. So, but you are all in classes together. You receive the same expert instruction if you are a full-time or part-time student. And as Jim mentioned, continuing ed, same thing. You can come here with the idea that you're taking that you're pursuing your certificate in fashion, or you can come here because you just want to hone some skills and take a few classes. You love it, you decide you want to keep going and get that certificate, you can do that too. So it's very flexible. Okay, a few more questions. I noticed the first video mentioned speaker presentations from designers that work at different brands. How often do these presentations happen? I'm going to preface Jim's answer by saying that's only a little bit of a tricky question, only because we're all still sort of just emerging from COVID. So that obviously didn't happen as much during over the last couple of years. We're starting to rebuild that program. We do have a webinar lined up with one of our alumni who's an expert in the industry to talk about like sourcing fabrics and kind of tech packs and things like things you really must know to enter the industry. That's one of the things that we're talking about coming up. But Jim, you wanna elaborate on that?
Oh, well, as Jen said, with COVID, we didn't really have a speaker series, and we have just moved into this building a year ago. So we moved into the Park Square building September 2022. So we had our fall semester, spring semester, and we're still adjusting to the space, but we are looking into, as Jen said, we have an alumnus, Boye. Her line, I believe, is Chicnicity. And we're talking about having her come in maybe the fall. So we're kind of building up our events and speakers series like that. But
when
starting it up again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have a lot of Boston is a really super open and collaborative community. As Jim mentioned, Jay Calderon, who teaches here, is the founder of Boston Fashion Week. We have a lot of contacts in the industry and in the field in general, both through our alumni and just from being in Boston for 90 years, the school, not us. So now that we're back in person, we've been talking to everybody and kind of trying to find out what everyone's doing and start to line this up again. We also so before COVID, we were bringing speakers in 2 to 3 times a year, I would say, roughly. We would try. We also do an annual trip to New York City. Jim, you can tell people a little bit about that.
So actually, we try to go twice a year, in the fall and spring. We try. And Boston used to have a garment district. It doesn't exist anymore. And anybody who's interested in fashion or sewing, you're kind of seeing like stores are closing. There's fewer Joann's and fewer Michaels, so you can't get fabric. So we try to take our students to New York twice a year. We charter a bus, we get off at 40th Street, and then we basically walk up and down the blocks between 6th and 7th and 8th, and literally just make our way down, going into fabric store after fabric store. We definitely hit Mood, but we hit a lot of other fabric stores. If you haven't been, it's kind of amazing. There's literally like a beads, button, and trim block. There's a block of spandex, but 10-story building after 10-story building full of fabric stores. While in New York, we always try to see what exhibit is at FIT or the Metropolitan Museum of Art. One year we checked out the Alexander McQueen exhibit. This past year when we went, I think FIT had their hip hop exhibit. So it's just it's a day trip, but we get a lot in that one day. So
Yeah, up early and home late, but yeah.
Yeah.
There's another question. When is the deadline to register for classes?
So for fall, the deadline is September 1st, which is a week from Friday, I believe. Every semester seems to be like if it's for January, it'd be January 1st, for June 1st. But the next deadline is September 1st. So visit our website, check out the schedule, and see if something interests you and works with your schedule.
Yes, and please, if you have other questions, or you need help picking your schedule, or you need help with the registration platform or anything like that, please reach out to us if you need help registering, or if you have questions specific to your classes and your schedule. We're always available for real personal questions like that. And we'll drop that contact information in the chat in just a second. Another question: are you still offering the production and technical design class? I saw it on your website, but did not see any times for it.
We are offering it. We just ran it in the spring. We are also trying to offer certain courses during certain periods so that they're guaranteed to run on these semesters. So in the fall, we always offer our Pattern Construction 3, which is sportswear. In the spring, we offer tailoring. Production and tech design is probably a spring class because it's something as people are approaching graduation. These are skills and knowledge that they need to have when they're going to start applying for jobs. So it's more than likely going to be a spring class.
It's also a later level class. So if you're just starting with us, that wouldn't be a class that you would take in your first semester with us anyway. This next question is a great question, and an FAQ that we missed. How many classes would you recommend taking if you are starting part-time?
Well,
It really
depends. Once again, it depends on your schedule. We offer, once again, you can do part-time during the day, you can do it in the evening, you can combine it with an online class. It really depends on your schedule. Once again, if you're working Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, I would probably say the most I would recommend would probably be 2 courses.
Yeah.
We have people coming in this semester, I believe Monday, Wednesday nights, doing Pattern 2 and Construction 2. So it's a very similar schedule in the fall and the spring. So you could elect to, once again, do Clothing Construction 1, which would be, I believe, Tuesday, Thursday evening, 6 to 7:30. And then you could, if you do Pattern 1, which means Tuesday, Thursday evening, 7:45 to 9:15. So it's 2 nights a week. It's after work. It's still a lot of work, but probably 2 is good to start with. Good to get a sense of how you can handle it, basically.
Yeah. If you're working part-time or you have some flexibility in your schedule, some students do take the 3. And I know Jim mentioned earlier the sort of trifecta of classes, sketching 1, pattern making 1, and construction 1. So if you're able to do 3, we would recommend those 3 as a way to start. If you can only do 2, we recommend pattern making and construction together, because and Jim has already said they really complement each other in the sense that you saw the skirt example. You're making the patterns for the skirt and then you're constructing the skirt. They really do go hand in hand. You don't have to take them together, but it helps. Also, do you offer any courses for bridal design?
We do. That is an advanced elective, kind of like the production class. So for bridal wear, you typically would need clothing construction 1 and 2, pattern making 1 and 2, and draping 1, and I believe 2. It is an advanced elective. You know, you need to have all these skills before you take that on.
Yeah, bridal design is complicated, but you will take that with Danielle Fauché, who you saw that in the video. You saw it in the video, who is a renowned award-winning bridal designer, very, very highly sought after bridal designer in Boston. So we have the best teaching that class, but you do have to get through your foundational courses with us first. Anybody else? Any other questions? Louise, do you have a question? Or want to say hello to us? You're welcome, Ella.
Yes, I,
Oh, there she is.
yeah, I can put my picture on too. Yeah. It's a plug for the faculty. I can't say enough about the faculty at the school. In all the years that I've been associated with it, be a student, be an instructor, and being a helper. And every teacher, every faculty member has a passion for what they do and a love of it. And all the faculty have very much want to share what they know and what they have experienced in the industry. And they're all top notch. Sorry, I stumbled around on that, but
No,
it's a plug for the faculty. For those
fantastic.
who don't know.
Thank you, Louise.
A well-deserved plug. We really do have an amazing faculty.
Louise, if I can ask you to put your mute back on now.
Sure.
Thank you so much. We have another question. If I were to pursue full-time, what are the transcript requirements, and is the deadline to provide the transcript and letter of recommendation September 1st as well?
So let's see, the transcript requirement is, once again, depending on if you're in high school, if you're just graduating high school, get us your high school transcript. Letter of reference, it's, once again, if you're in high school, it might be a teacher, a guidance counselor. If you graduated a while ago, once again, your employer, college transcripts, we understand that you have to request it. It might take a little time. I would just suggest emailing us and letting us know that you're interested in full-time study. But since the deadline is a week away, we still want you to apply. We still would love to have you as a student. And we understand that it may come in after the fact. So yeah, just once again, let us know and start the process of getting those things to us. But yeah, we can definitely review an application in anticipation of receiving those things. So.
Yeah, thank you. Absolutely. We're always happy to work with you. Anybody else? We really want to thank you all for being here with us tonight. Thank you for your time. Oh, is the library open all day during school hours? I can answer this one. As Jim mentioned, we just moved this year into this new location. That video was made before we moved here. We are still unpacking and getting our library out of storage. It is, we believe, one of probably the fairly preeminent collections of fashion periodicals and Vogue magazines and things like this. We are still unpacking it, so we'll let you know when that's completely available. But when it's all installed, the library is open when the building is open. Yeah. And Rosa, you're welcome. Thank you all for being here. we are gonna throw up one last slide that just gives you some contact information. If you came late tonight and you missed some of the videos and you have questions that you're not sure were answered as part of that process, please just reach out to us. If you would like, if you're so compelled that you would like to actually get here in person and you're local, please reach out to us. We're happy to give in-person tours anytime that the building is open. We're pretty much open 9 to 6 during the week. We're happy to invite you in. And then please reach out if you have specific questions or you need help. admissions@sfdboston.org. And I'll throw the phone number in the chat too. And I think Sadie has a slide that gives the information if you want to screenshot it. Whoops. So thank you all for being here tonight.
And
Okay.
someone just asked in the chat, how much homework is in part-time?
It depends on the classes you're taking. If you are doing, if you're doing a clothing construction and pattern making class, you do have to complete your sewing samples. You do have to draft your patterns and perfect your patterns. So I will say there is, for those classes, quite a bit of homework. If you're doing a sketching class, once again, you're doing your sketches. History of costume, it might be more reading. For a textiles class, it might be locating fabric. So it varies from class to class. I will say the sewing and the pattern making classes tend to have a little more homework. You're always welcome to come into the building and use our machines whenever we're open. If you're doing that Tuesday, Thursday evening classes, you can come in Monday, Wednesday evenings and use the equipment to do your homework or get your work done. You can come in early and use the equipment. So that's my homework.
Yeah, a lot of our students will have basic sewing machines at home. We have the industrial sewing machines here. You don't need that at home at all. Just a basic sewing machine is fine for the work you do at home, and or as Jim said, come in the building. But we have everything you need here. Some students do have some supplies at home. There's lockers here if you want to store your stuff here. We have all the dress forms. Everything you need is here. So yeah. All right. Like I said, reach out. We are available. Thank you all for being here, and we hope you all have a great evening. Let me just save this chat.
Thank you, everybody.